Here we are at the Hancock Motel. I stayed in room 113. They seem to cater to bicyclists. That looks like a bicyclist there. There's the bike wash area that goes, and they have a thing of rags set out, so I cleaned my chain this morning. And I had breakfast this morning across the street here at the Potomac Grill. They do have beer if you want a beer at the end of the day. But I'm going back down in the town to get some supplies. This is Main Street on Hancock. Coming from the west, I guess. I'm going to stop here and get some water. I noticed on the Google map somewhere around here was listed a campground. I'm not sure. Might be back here somewhere. So if you want to stay in Hancock and maybe be close to the town for dinner, might be a good idea to check this out if this is in fact a campground. Oh, that must be it there. That's the park I just saw from the other side with the kids playing, I think. But that's listed as a campground. Yeah, there's a toilet there. I don't know if it's an official campground, but it came up on Google as one. Okay, I'm gonna stop at this bike store up here. There's a C&O bike store. See what they have. I'm gonna get an energy bar. So here I am just outside Hancock. It's about 10:30. I'm getting a late start. Today's gonna be a light day. I stopped at the C&O bicycle shop, which is right down there. Just as you the first bridge you're crossing into Hancock, you can't miss it. I ran into a father and son who are riding from Pittsburgh to DC themselves, and they told me about, evidently there's a paved road on the other side of the towpath that runs for about 25 miles, starts at mile marker, if I remember correctly, I think he said it starts at mile marker 135 and goes to mile marker 115. So that's about, what, 20 miles of paved road. I think he said it terminates at Big Pool, according to the map he was looking at, but they've been taking it. I'm going to stay on the towpath just because I don't want to miss anything. So here we are at the Tonnelloy Aqueduct. This actually is the arch, and this would actually float boats through here, which is pretty amazing that they were going over this creek, and they've reinforced it since because it's collapsed, but it was built like in 1834 or 36 thereabouts. But it's pretty amazing that they would float a boat over the creek in the towpath. There's not much left of it, but here's an illustration of literally going over the creek. I just left Hancock, as I said. Gravel. It looks like fresh gravel to me. Again, I want to say Hancock is at mile marker 125. I could be wrong, but there's a parallel path called the Western Maryland Trail that's asphalt that I've heard about. I didn't realize it was in this section, but in hindsight, after being exhausted so much yesterday, I wish I had gotten on it at mile marker 135 and ridden the last 10 miles on it. It would have, I wouldn't have been so exhausted by the time I arrived, because riding on gravel and mud and stuff obviously takes more energy. It's gonna be a light day today, only 51 miles, and then stay at Antietam Creek Campground for the night. Okay, here we are at Little Pool Hiker Biker Camp. I am 4 miles outside of Hancock. Like someone else had said, it looks like the grass hasn't been mowed in a while. There's the chemical toilet there. And on my way, there's the well pump down there. So here we are at Licking Creek Hiker Biker Camp. Pit toilet down there. And then here's the water pump. I do want to note that some of these water pumps, you should go on the website, because the C&O specifically, it says what, it'll say whether the water's drinkable. And I noticed that when I was on this trip, there was it said all wells are open except for, and then it listed off several of them, and I think I stopped at one of them because I couldn't get water out of one of them. The trail has changed back after probably 2-3 miles into this harder gravel, which is great. So here I am this is the terminus of the Western Maryland Rail Trail. Basically come back onto the trail there. I haven't seen a mile marker, but I think it was at 116, so it's got to be close to 115 like that guy said. So if you want to skip all that, which in hindsight, I think is okay because you really didn't see much. I thought there'd be more locks and a little bit more stuff to see, but other than a few remains of some lock houses and a couple aqueducts, I would take that road for the smooth sailing. North Mountain Hiker Biker Campground. Pit toilet. This looks kind of nice. You kind of drop down, get close to the Potomac there. It's a well. Looks like each of these only has one picnic table and maybe one fire pit. It says the next one is 9 miles away. So this must be the 4 locks. It must be around mile marker 109, maybe 108. Not sure. I'm assuming this is the 4 locks because it looks like there's at least 3 in a row. Yeah, the 4 locks. Here we go. It's lock 49. And again, a little explanation of how it works. So this is the last 2 of the 4 locks. That's some serious elevations. I think they said they elevated 33 feet over the course of using them, but that's very impressive. And as the placard said, there was a thriving town here back then in its heyday. So this is Charles Mill. That's the remnants of a mill that was here along the canal. This is the canal here. This dried up bed. There's a little placard. And here's the Potomac. Looks like getting into some nice riverfront property there. That's one of the dams. It's Stonewall Jackson, but I think it's like dam number 1 or something. So this is the Jordan Junction hiker biker campsite. I think I'm about 2 miles outside of Williamsport. They seem to all have one fire pit and one picnic table. There's a well and a porta potty over there, but plenty of room for multiple tents. So I just had lunch at the Desert Rose Cafe in Williamsport, and a bunch of Boy Scout mountain bikers came in. I just got in just ahead of them, but they're on their way to a campsite for the night. Obviously, Williamsport caters to the biking clan, so pretty cool. Desert Rose Cafe, I recommend it. A fabulous hummus and veggie sandwich. Here goes lock 44. It's actually blocking water, although it looks like it hasn't been opened in a while. It's got grass growing out of it, so that's silt or dirt against it, but there's water on the one side and not much on the other, except for a couple turtles. One big one down there, and then I see a head floating around, moving around to the other one. First turtle I've seen. Goes into a big pool of water. This is Cumberland Valley hiker biker campsite. Looks rather nice. You know, the good thing about this is you can see the river at least. You're not low with it, so you have to worry about a flood or anything. Porta potty, one picnic table, and one fire pit. Entering big slack water. Started at mile 88 more or less. So I just left Big Slackwater, and this is the condition of the trail. It's all ruddy and dried out. Dried out's probably better than not, but as you can see, it's quite ruddy, but there's this path on the side that's quite smooth. So as long as you feel comfortable being close to the edge, it's not super close, it seems to be okay. Oh, here's the campground. Big woods. Let's see Big Woods. Again, the single picnic table and fire pit. This one seems a little bit more tent friendly because the grass isn't a foot high. Looks like you have some river access down there. Big Woods Campground. Killinsburg Cave, hiker biker campsite. I don't really see the campsite, so I'm gonna assume it's down there, below that level there. Oh, here's the campsite here. One picnic table, one fireplace. Probably at mile marker 75 or something, I want to say. Dam number 4, one of the first ones. Towpath. Potomac.